Well, you asked me to iron it. By the_tall_Malu. It was my elder brother's engagement day. It was a big event with many guests. It's a big function where I'm from. All of my close family members had bought good expensive clothes to wear for the function. He had to wear an old shirt till we got to the place. Since it was still morning, most of the shops were closed. But my brother's friends went out of their way to get him a new shirt. 1/4 of the price of the original. For the function, he was furious for days. Note: the fault with the iron was a manufacturing defect. The minimum heat and max heat were swapped. We never noticed it because we usually put the heat right in the middle. But I was scared to use it as I had previously burned 2 of my uniforms. He brought this onto himself. Since he specifically asked me to put it on low heat, the faulty machine read it as high heat. I figured this out after a couple of days. TBH. Even I felt bad for him. My dad had a silk shirt which was the most expensive of all. So, on the morning of the engagement day, as we were all busy to get stuff done, he asks me to iron his new shirt. He had bought the shirt 2 weeks prior and he had to ask me to do it on the function day that too. Right before we were about to leave. Usually I do iron his shirts most of the time, but it was just so busy and chaotic that day, and not to mention the iron we had was faulty. I told him I don't have time and the iron is faulty. He was pissed and started raising his voice. Everyone heard what was going on. So, I was like, okay, whatever, got his shirt, and as I was walking towards the iron table he yells, "It's silk, make sure you put it on low heat." So, I plugged in the iron, put the heat in low, gave it a few minutes to heat up, and picked it up, and right when I placed it on the front of the shirt, it burned, creating a hole almost as big as the iron box. I, annoyed, picked up the shirt and held it to his face. He was so furious and started shouting and screaming at me. But, thankfully, everyone had heard me telling him the iron was faulty. So, everyone sided with me.